Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Chopra, for being here. You just had a data breach at your agency, is that correct?
We have an insider threat that transferred on an unauthorized basis some emails to their personal email account.
And you were in charge when this happened?
Of course, yes.
Okay. And this wasn't an attack from outside your agency. It came from inside of your agency. Is that correct?
That's right. Our systems were not penetrated. It was not a hack in that way, but we had an employee who worked for us who sent those emails.
The data for 256,000 consumers was breached. Is that correct?
Yeah, we looked through the emails.
But is my number correct?
I believe that's right. Yes, but it was not their. It was not any social security number, birth dates, any of that.
It was their data, though, right?
It was the institution's data, but it had their name, so that's important, and it's a huge problem.
Yeah, it is. You didn't tell the customers that this happened to, the consumers, for 2 months. Is that correct?
Well, we did not have the contact information for them, so we had to work with institutions to figure out who to contact, and we wanted to work in partnership.
But you didn't tell them for 2 months?
Well,
is that correct?
We started the notifications, I believe, last month, but again, we did not know the contact information for them. All we had was certain data elements, and we followed the cybersecurity OMB guidance to make sure that you
can understand, can you not, why consumers might be a little concerned about you having their information. Is that correct?
Oh, of course. The issue of protecting personal data. Let me ask you
about Section 1071, your rule on small business data collection. Under your proposed rule, when a bank loans money to a small businesswoman or a small businessman, you would require the bank to ask that customer first about the customer's race. Is that right?
So just to be clear, the proposal you reference, that has been changed since and is now into the final. The congressional requirement, and we are under a court order, requires race.
Don't filibuster me, Mr.
No, it does require
race.
Just
answer my questions, okay? Is your rule going to require banks to ask the customer about their race?
So that is in the statute. And
about their race, or is your rule going to require the bank to ask the customer about their ethnicity?
So just to be clear, in the sample form, it allows the borrower to self-identify or refuse.
Just answer my question.
No, I'm trying to be clear.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Your rule would require a bank to ask the question of a small business person, what's your race? What's your ethnicity? What's your sexual preference? Are you gay? Are you a woman? Now you can bubble wrap this all you want, but that's what your rule does. Now the customer, particularly in a small town, is going to go, whoa, what's my sexual preference have to do with a loan? And the customer can say, I don't want to answer. But then the bank you're requiring the bank to tell you that they wouldn't answer. And all of this data is going to go to your agency. And we don't have the slightest idea how you're going to use it, except you say you're going to publish it.
Well, we will not get any names at all.
But you're going to have data sets so that it's possible. You can't tell me it's not possible to have this information known. Why do you want all this information?
I don't.
Why do you want to know what a small business woman's sexual preference is?
Okay, that's a mischaracterization.
No, it's not.
Of it. Yeah, it is. We
No,
have
it's not.
congressional objectives.
No, it's not.
We had to implement it. People can self-identify. There is no personal.
Why do you
information
want to
set.
know what a small businesswoman, let's say in a town of 20,000 people, going to her local bank to borrow money? Why do you want to know what her sexual preference is? What business is that of yours?
We sought to implement what the
What
congressional
business is
requirements
that of
are.
yours? What a small businesswoman does in her bedroom? Who
Again,
appointed you Pope?
again, people are able to self-identify if they wish.
You're
to
making
refuse, they
them.
can. We are not making them.
Yes, you are.
No, we're not.
And
It's
if they
very
don't
clearly-
answer, the bank has got to tell you, and we have no idea how you're going to use this information.
Well, I'm
can't-
happy to
Director
meet with you
Chopra,
about it further.
Director
That's
Chopra.
not. I don't believe that's an.
Director
You can't
Chopra, please.
assure us-
Senator Kennedy, Director Chopra, answer one more time, and then I turn it to Senator Warner, who is on.
Am I
Just
over,
like
am I over again?
Yeah, you're way over again, and I always let you, but I'm not going to let you go 3 minutes over with the same question 8 times, Senator.
Well, if
Director
he'd
Chopra.
answer it,
So
I
just
would-
like,
Chopra.
just like the Home Mortgage Disclosure Act, there's other ways where there's requirements from Congress to collect data. In this situation, we took a lot of feedback to try and make it less intrusive, specifically based on the concern you're raising. There will not be individual consumer names sent. We can talk further about it, but we tried our best to implement the congressional directive faithfully and consider all of these issues.
Senator Kennedy of Louisiana is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Levitt, Hamas runs Gaza, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And lots of people help Hamas, don't they?
There are people who help. There are lots of people in Gaza who oppose Hamas as well.
Well, Qatar sends Hamas $10 million a month to run the place, does it not?
It has.
The Palestinian Authority, which the people of Gaza rejected in favor of Hamas, pays Gaza's electricity bill. They keep the lights on for Hamas, don't they?
Well, to be clear, the people of Gaza didn't reject the Palestinian Authority. Hamas took over with force of arms.
I don't want to debate that.
Yeah. There's not much to debate.
Yes,
The Palestinian Authority does provide salaries to its people in Gaza.
Does the Palestinian Authority pay for the keeping the lights on in Gaza?
They pay for some of it, yes.
The UN sends Hamas money to educate the children, does it not?
UN pays for some education in Gaza. They do that
that a
through their
yes?
own agencies.
Is that a yes?
They provide the money into Gaza, yes.
I'll take that as a yes. The UN gives Hamas money to run hospitals, does it not?
The UN runs hospitals in Gaza too, yes.
And in fact, doesn't Hamas tax at the rate of 16.5% every bit of food and aid that comes in to Gaza?
They do tax everything. I don't know the exact
And
percent.
Hamas levies a tax on even fish caught, does it not?
They tax everything.
And Hamas also levels an income tax, does it not?
That too.
Okay. President Biden's administration has not enforced the sanctions on Iranian oil, on Iranian oil, has it?
No.
Okay. So you agree with Ms. I'm sorry, I can't see you. Pleska. So you agree?
I tend to make it a policy to try to agree with Ms. Pletko whenever possible.
Yeah. Well, you're smart. You told us you were smart. President Biden has not chosen to impose the snapback sanctions under the JPCOA, has he?
Correct.
Okay. Ms. Pletka, who has the $6 billion?
It's in a bank in Qatar.
Okay. So Qatar has control of it.
In essence, that is correct, although...
Well, let me put it this way. If the Qatar bank, there's a Qatar bank, If Qatar tells them to do something and the United States tells them not to do something, who's the bank going to listen to?
Well, that is the question before us right now.
Who's the bank going to listen to?
Qatar,
Of
their
course.
government.
Okay. And isn't it a fact that back in 2021, Treasurer Yellen, through special drawing rights at the International Monetary Fund, gave Iran $4.5 billion?
That's what I understand, yes.
And she'd like to give them more.
That's what I understand, yes.
That's like cash money. It's really a dividend. You can cash in for U.S. dollars. Is that right?
That's what I understand.
Wow. It seems to me that we could cut off Hamas, or at least to go a long way toward doing that by actually just enforcing the things that we already say we're enforcing.
Every authority that is necessary to cut off Iran, Hamas, and every other terrorist group is already in the president's hands. The question is never whether the president can, it's whether the president will.
Well, why has the Biden administration been so soft on Iran? If we know Iran is funding Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, their surrogates in Syria, their surrogates in Iraq, why has President Biden's administration been so soft on them?
Well,
do they just think love is the answer, and that this isn't a bar fight, and that, I mean, it just looks to me like this administration is quoting Socrates in the middle of a prison riot.
That's a very apt picture. I'm not a spokesman for the Biden administration, so I can only give you my estimation. There has always been a problem in our compartmentalization in dealing with Iran. We have prioritized their nuclear program, their nuclear weapons program, understandably, but we have not ignored, but diminished the importance of their support for terrorism, their regional disruptions, and their human rights record. Those things need to change. We need to tighten the screws on Iran in every single aspect.
Peace through weakness never works, does it?
No.
Thank you, Senator Kennedy.
Gõ cửa trái tim van anh được vào, dù tình xót đau chung thân huyệt đau, ngủ vùi với chim bao nỗi niềm mắt xanh xao, nhưng em vẫn ngóng tim anh mở cửa. Gõ cửa trái tim sao anh hững hờ, ngõ hồn tái tê năm canh thẫn thờ, nhện lòng mắc răng tơ để một mối bơ vơ, khi không anh nhốt em trong đợi chờ. Bằng vàng nên tiếng kêu nghe bẽ bàng, để em gõ cửa miên man mà anh không chút oan han. Em buồn lang thang gõ cửa trái tim, nghe xa nghìn trùng đèn mờ hắt hiu cô đơn tận cùng, đàn lỡ phím sai cung, tình này cũng mông lung, tim anh ai khóa để em lạnh lùng. Gõ cửa trái tim van anh được vào, dù tình xót đau chung thân huyệt đau, ngủ vui với chiêm bao nỗi niềm mắt xanh xao, nhưng em vẫn ngóng tim anh mở cửa. Gõ cửa trái tim sao anh hững hờ, ngõ hồn tái tê năm canh thẫn thờ, nhện lòng mắc răng tơ để một môi bơ vơ, khi không anh nhốt em trong đợi chờ. Bằng vàng nên tiếng kêu nghe bè ba, để em gõ cửa miên man mà anh không chút hỏi han. Em buồn lang thang gõ cửa trái tim, nghe xa nghìn trùng đèn mờ hắt hiu cô đơn tận cùng, đàn lỡ phím sai cung, tình này cũng mông lung, tìm anh ai khóa để em lạnh lùng. Đàn lỡ phím sai cung, tình này cũng mông lung, tìm anh ai khóa để em lạnh